The night. The night is dark. It's a dark night. Like Batman. Batman! This is a hero who almost everyone has heard of. The iconic Caped Crusader was first seen in 1939 and has long since had a line of comics, films, and TV shows. Due to this, he's also had many lines of games surrounding him, one of the most notable of which is the Arkham series. But another line of games has recently appeared in the last 20 or so years, that being the LEGO series. LEGO Batman the video game was my first game that I ever played properly. I love this game to death, and I remember me and my brother playing it throughout lockdown. This carried us through that. After a while though, we just stopped playing it. And then eventually when I got an Xbox last year, I replayed it and beat it. Fully. I loved it. It was such a good game. It was fun and nostalgic for me. And I wanted to do another 100% run. So just why not make a video about it? So watch now as I 100% LEGO Batman the video game. For a start, this title screen is just some nostalgia. I love this game. As I said before, I love it. But this is just amazing. The main bit of the story is simple though. Batman villains, they break out of prison and cause mayhem. That's the overarching story. But they managed to split it into 3 different ones, and they have 2 different parts to it. Well, before we get into that, the first story is the Riddler, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Clayface and Two-Face plotting to break into the bank and steal the gold supply. And with that short cutscene, we get chucked into the first level. And the cutscene for said level is the Riddler and Clayface blowing up the front of a bank. As we begin the first level, I just break everything in my sights, as I normally do with a LEGO game. This is the game's in-game currency, studs. This also allows me to fill up the stud meter in a level. This is a mini-kit. This is our first selectable because there's 10 in each level, and there's 30 levels. There's 300 in this game. After selecting 2, I continue and find a citizen in peril. Then after a bit, I find a pad with a silhouette of Batman over the top, and it gives us the demolition suit. This then allows me to blow things up, specifically silver object, the main attractment. Then we use this to blow up a truck and gain access to the last part of the level. In the next part of the level, we find Robin's techno suit. This then allows him to control things through these little pads. We control a small car that we use to pilot to let us in the next part of the level. And in this part we fight against Clayface. The boss fights in this game are pretty simple. If you just punch them, they run, we do the same to Clayface. We punch him, blow things up, then attack him with acid. While we do this, we get our final collectible for this level, a red brick. This gives us an extra to buy. There's 1 in each level, therefore 30 in the game. This set of 15 levels, we'll call them the hero missions. The hero missions, they contain extras for the suit. Some is like damage extra, but this one is fast grapple. We then go straight to the next level where we go for Mr. Freeze. This time we start by blowing up some cars, and then we get Robin's new magnet suit. This then allows us to latch onto magnetic walls, and we put this to use as we get to my least favourite part of this level. What you're meant to do is pull this lever, and then this lever at the same time. But because this game has multiplayer, it takes longer to do it than normal, just alone. But somehow I do it fast this time. We then enter the factory and get the glide suit, my favourite suit in the game by far. As the name suggests, it allows you to glide. We then speed through the uneventful level till we get to the Mr. Freeze boss fight, which plays out exactly like the Clayface one. He gets attacked, we win, job done. The next level is a bit of a different one. It's a vehicle mission. These are kind of like a breath of fresh air from the normal. You're not playing as Batman and Robin, you're playing as the Bat car, or the Bat boat, or the Bat helicopter, and whatever stuff Robin can get his hands on. I swear he has a normal one. He has a normal bike. Anyway, so basically you just hold X, get the stud meter, they all get attracted into my bank account, and bada bing, bada boom, we win. We then go into the last part of the level where we fight Two-Face's truck. How the cars fight, I don't know. But it turned out fine. And yeah. So eventually they get swept up and they go to Poison Ivy's botanical garden place. This is the kind of cycle that the rest of the game follows. So, I'm just going to go fast over it. So, we get to the botanical garden place, we get the Sonic suit. Sadly, though the name says Sonic, it doesn't make you fast. Does make you blue though. But still. We go, and then we get the most useless suit in the game, the heat suit. This is used twice in the level. Only really used in the level. Why is it a suit? And then we go fight her. But this is a different one though. You have to bomb plants, and then you find the one that she's in, and then you win. And then we go on to the last level of this chapter, of chapter 1. That is the Riddler in the bank with Two-Face. We then proceed to fight the Riddler and Two-Face back to back. With one point the Riddler mind controls him, and we still fight the Riddler. Anyway, and then because we have plot armor, we win. That's good. And then we can see the end of the first chapter, with all the villains being put into prison. Anyway, that ends the first chapter, and I'm at 8.4%, which is very small, but I can get the completion this fast. Now we put that behind us and set our sights on the second chapter with the Penguin. Now, in chapter 2, we fight the Penguin, as I just said, Bane, Man-Bat, Killer Croc, and Catwoman. And as like the other one, where they had a plan, this one is the Penguin wants to take over the world. How does he plan to do that? With robotic penguins. I find this plot really silly, but I love it because it's silly. But yeah, so they plan to take over the world with penguins. How will that turn out? We'll probably win because we have plot armor. Just like the last chapter, all the levels are very similar. But so I'm still going to just gloss over them because it doesn't need much introduction. But in this one, we fight Catwoman on the roofs of Gotham. I really like this setting. It just feels cool just to be chasing someone down on the roof. But then what I always think in any of these scenes where they're on the roof, what do the people in the houses think? Do they just hear things on the top, on the roof, and then do the parents, are they just used to it, or do the kids just go, "Oh, is it Santa on the roof? Who is it?" But oh well, we never get told. But this fight. No, we fight Catwoman in it, but this fight I think is just a bit annoying, you know, because she jumps around like a cat, but you can't track her down, so it ends up you just going round in circles till eventually she stops and you just attack her. But we stopped her, and now she died. She's in the police. She fights with the police to get in the car like a cat, because she's a cat woman. The next level is like... Actually, no. The last chapter had the second level as the third level. Anyway, this level, the second one, is a vehicle mission. Basically the same as last, but this time we're in the Batboat. And Robin finally has his own vehicle. He has a Robin jet ski. But this one has an annoying, dragging bomb mechanic that works sometimes, but doesn't work other times. It's kind of like if you ever played the Complete Saga, the dragging the remote bombs on the floor, but it's a bit better but still bad. But anyway, we get by it, and then we just beat the level. After fighting a penguin submarine, how do vehicles fight? I get how planes fight, but how do submarines fight, and boats fight, and cars? But yeah, anyway, so we move on to the next level. We then go to the next level where we're in the sewers, fighting Killer Croc. Because where the hell else would you find a human crocodile hybrid? Anyway, this boss is really easy. This level, it's a good level, I like the setting, but this boss is easy. He throws stuff at you when you punch him. But then when he's punched to wherever he goes, we then get a lead to the next place, which is the Gotham Zoo, where we fight Man-Bat. And Robin's very happy about this, as you can see in the cutscene. And then, so the zoo level is just another basic level, really. Nothing much happens. You just go through the level, beating the boss, and that's pretty much it. Nothing much happens. Again, the setting's cool. I just like running through a zoo in the middle of the night with a bunch of random people there, and then you fight them. And then you're on the crocodile. Crocodiles have got a massive part in this story. There's loads of them. There's some in this lake. But yeah. So next part is the final boss of this chapter. The last level of this game, you fight, and of this chapter, you fight the penguin. It's not a strong level whatsoever. The Riddler one's way better. Because it's got 2 rooms. Outside, which is really poor, you just walk along this thing, do a couple puzzles, that's really it. The inside, and then you go into the cave that the penguin's in. First of all, why is a man who likes penguins in a cave? I get it's an icy cave, but penguins don't live in caves. But then he's got a really poor boss fight. So what you're meant to do is you're meant to use this spinning thing in the middle of the room and deflect the penguins he throws at you back at him. But the thing is, you're not told that, and I've seen multiple people go, I struggle with this boss. I don't know what to do on it. I just managed to get through it. I know what to do on it, because I've played this before. But it's just a really annoying boss fight to do, even now after replaying it so often. It's just not a great boss. But eventually you do it. His plan's thwarted. The robot penguins that he uses to take over the world are dead. They just blow up. But yeah, it's just an annoying boss fight, which is really sad, to be fair, because this isn't actually a bad chapter. It's just not the greatest boss fight. Don't know how I did it when I originally started this game. And then we move on to the third and the final chapter of Lego Batman the video game. In chapter 3, we go against Killer Moth, Harley Quinn, Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, and of course the main man himself, the Joker. Like the other chapters, they have a plan. But this plan isn't what your normal rob a bank, take over the world. It's just blow things up and cause chaos. I mean, look at this poster that the Joker's amazingly made to provide his team with what they're going to do. It's just bombs. So we go into the first level of the game against the Mad Hatter. First of all, I don't know a lot of Batman lore. I've not watched a lot of the films. But since when was Alice in Wonderland canon? Why is it canon? Someone tell me why it's canon. But he's in Mad Hatter's in a chemical plant, getting ready to blow things up. I mean, this level's alright. The only thing is the levels in this chapter are so damn long. I can record things in 1 hour segments. And the next level took me 40 minutes to do. That's 2/3 of my 1 hour recording for that segment on one level. Why are they so long? This is just... Why are they long? I don't know. They are cool levels, but they're just so long. But yeah, we beat him. Nothing much happens. We just beat him. It's fine. We then move on to the next level, which I don't really like. It's not a good level. It's my least favourite of this section of the game. Especially, it's my least favourite of the chapter 3. But you're in Joker's Funland. I, for a start, love this setting. It's just cool. Especially at night, it's just awesome. But the thing that really drags it down for me is the length and the boss. Because you're fighting Harley Quinn, not a bad boss. They've done it well in the future. Yes, it's the future, but still they can do one well. It wasn't bad in Batman 2. There wasn't one in Batman 3 or supervillains. But yeah, this one's not the strongest one. She does a bunch of backflips, and then you chase her, but you have to chase for like 5 minutes till she gets dizzy. Then you do one hit on her, then she jumps away, spawns a bunch of enemies. You have to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. Yeah, it's not a great boss. It's not awful. The penguin one's awful, but this isn't a strong boss. But still, but still, we got through it. It's fine. The main bit of this level is they've taken the commissioner, and they've threatening to kill him in very bad ways, of which I will not explain. But we fight Harley Quinn, and we beat her, and then we set the commissioner free. As Robin gets chased in the background. The next level follows the tradition of being the third level being a vehicle mission. Here we fight the Scarecrow. Nothing much happens really, it's just you're in a plane. I like the plane way more than I do the boat. I like the car the most, but I like the plane afterwards. It's very reminiscent of the Complete Saga level, you know, the whole, oh, we were infiltrating the Death Star. It's very reminiscent of those, which just brings LEGO games back to its root, really, with them doing a bunch of Star Wars, but it is really good. The tow and bomb mechanic's not the greatest. Apart from that, it's a solid level. Nothing much happens in it though. But then we just crash land on the street, and we crash land, but nothing happens to the street. It's just we tap, and then we're there. Anyway, after crash landing in the streets of Gotham at the dead of night, we enter a building and go to the back alley, which is on fire. I don't know why it's on fire. It just is. I remember this level when I was younger was the reason I stopped playing, because we just couldn't get through it. It was just really annoying. I don't know, the disto section was just a pain in the bum to do. But anyway, this time, after a couple of attempts, I get through the disto section, we go to the back alley, and for some reason it's on fire. But then I don't know why, we put the fire out, and then we go into the Killer Moth fight. And me being me, I do silly stuff, and I run in circles, not knowing what to do. But I figure out that I'm in the wrong Robin suit. But I saw the suit pad and like, that looks the same and I've got the one now. But they're not the same. So I'm just running in circles, oblivious to this suit that I know I need. But I don't know it's that one. Anyway, we beat him by turning a light bulb on. As he's a moth, he gets attracted to the light bulb. And then he gets locked up, I think. They probably get locked up. They do get locked up, they're in the cutscene, anyway. But then we go to the final place that the Joker begins to cause havoc, the cathedral. We begin this level at the cathedral, the last level of this section of the game, by fighting Harley Quinn after doing a couple puzzles. We fight her with the power of bubbles. I don't know how bubbles do damage, they just do. But we chase her up the clock tower, till eventually we get to the top where her and the Joker hide in bells. We hit them both out, and then they jump onto a thing, and then we shoot a helicopter with bubbles. Bubbles don't hurt that much. Why do they do so much damage? But eventually we do the bubble helicopter, we fight the Joker with his ridiculous amount of health, and then we finish the first story, and all the villains are now in prison. Well, that marks the completion of the first story. And you may think, well, there's a first story. Is there a second one? Is it like an epilogue? No, it's a prologue. This second story is in Arkham Asylum, and it sets up what Batman and Robin are about to experience through the villain's point of view. I love this idea so much, and haven't seen any other game really do this. The only one that I've seen come close is Supervillains. But then again, that was the whole game. It didn't have both the perspectives. Not really anyways, but still. I love this idea so much. And then this may be why I warrant this game as my favourite LEGO game ever. I love it. And I just think it's amazing. But for this 100% completion, it's annoying. Because this bumps it up from 150 mini-kits or so to now 300. But anyway, I don't care, I love this section of the game. This chapter 1 starts with a similar cutscene to the first one, and then we start the level as the Riddler and Clayface. As their new characters, they have new abilities. Clayface, he allows us to double jump, which does let us skip some sections, but I don't really use it because I can't figure it out, and use super strength. This, I think, the double jump's a bit questionable, but the super strength really does make his character better. And then the Riddler, he only really has 2 abilities as well. He can use special doors, kind of like Dane. I keep referencing Complete Saga, the Imperial doors and that. He can use special Riddler doors, we'll call them, and he also allows us to mind control clueless citizens. And most of the time we just use it to pull levers and stuff and gain access to doors like we do here. But both of these abilities, all of them, all open up so much more gameplay opportunities for puzzles and also bumps up the particularly small, especially for LEGO game standards, character roster. But we traverse through Gotham and get to the bank from the first level. One thing is, I really like how this section with the bank is exactly the same as the one where we fight Clayface, only this time the front of the bank isn't as much blown up, till we blow it up. But still, then the Riddler ditches us and it sets up the second level of Chapter 1. We'll call it Chapter 1.5. As I said, the Riddler ditches Clayface with the key to the vault that he wants to break open, and then goes back to his base. This time he takes Mr. Freeze to get a freeze gun from an ice cream factory. Why is an ice cream factory not a freeze gun if it's an ice cream factory? I don't really know why they need a freeze gun. I will go into depth why they need each item later, but who cares? It's a video game, it's a LEGO game. It doesn't need much logic. This level is as boring as the original one. But we do get new characters, so we need to go through abilities. Mr. Freeze, freeze gun. He can freeze people. And for some reason he has super strength and can go through acid. See, I haven't watched much of the Batman films, but I don't understand how a guy that worked with cold can pick things up very strong. I don't understand that, but I don't care. Oh well, makes him cool. And doesn't make him boring, unlike this level. But then the Riddler, again, ditches us, the coward, and then sets up the scene for Batman to go through. This time, level 3, unlike the hero side, isn't a vehicle mission. Instead, it sets up what level 4 of the Chapter 1 of the hero side would be. So this time, as Chapter 4 is, we take Poison Ivy to the Botanical Garden. I find it really funny how the only reason they get the police called on them, well, they were going to get them called on them anyways, but is because Riddler stood on a plant and then Poison Ivy started arguing with them. It's just silly. Anyway, they get the seeds that the Riddler needs, and he ditches Poison Ivy. Again, he is a coward. He then proceeds to meet up with Two-Face, and it's going to stay as this duo for the rest of this bit of the story. They break into a vault holding a big laser gun. Again, this is the only item that I could warrant needing on a heist, but still. And then they get the big laser gun. Nothing much goes on in this level. We just get a big laser gun. But then they take the items they've collected, and this allows them to complete their goal and gain access to this gold vault. This is level 5 now. They break in using the freeze gun to make a bridge, and then use the other gun to break the bridge. This is a waste of time, resources, and just henchmen, because now Mr. Freeze is in prison. Well, he's not going to prison anyways, but now Mr. Freeze is in prison. All you needed was to get a freeze gun and then zap the bridge that you use. Why? Just leave the freeze gun out, swim, and then don't zap it. And then you don't need the big laser gun. But yeah, and then they use the seeds to grow big plants and go up to the front of the bank. Again, why would you go into the entrance? But still, it's a LEGO game, doesn't need to make sense. Then the Riddler mind controls a helicopter pilot to gain access to the bank. This is cool. It also shows a bit of evolution of power. It shows that he started from just mind controlling people to mind controlling helicopters. It's the pilot, but still. But then we gain access to the bank, break in, and then build a mech to somehow gain access to the vault. I love this. It's just silly and fun and doesn't have to make sense. As I've said multiple times, it doesn't need to make sense. I just love it. The fact that just 2 people have just broken in, built a mech out of scrap parts, and shot open a vault to break open. And then they proceed to they put all this effort in. As I said, it's a waste of human It's a waste of resources and a waste of henchmen. But they just use it to break into a vault and then get captured by Batman. But yeah, that ends the entirety. The Riddler will not return, nor will any of his other villains. They won't return for the rest of the game unless I use them in free play. But yeah, they're now safely in prison forever now. But yeah. As we see in the hero side, Batman then locks them up, and we go on to the first level of the Penguin side. The Penguin's plan is the same, and in the first level we're travelling to his submarine. In this level we're playing as Penguin and Bane. The Penguin can shoot and whack people with an umbrella. He also blows up things with penguins, which means finally we can use bombs without a special Batman suit. Let's go! We also get to use Bane. I actually quite like his character, though he doesn't get used a hell of a lot, especially not in the main story of the Batman bit. No, he's not used at all. He's a strong character, and also he can walk through acid. And then we go through this level to get to the submarine, but Bane gets caught. But what I don't understand is in the cutscene where he gets caught, he throws a boat, and he could have used this boat to get away from the police. So yeah, he just wastes his only attempt at leaving. Anyway, Penguin leaves, like the Riddler does, he's a coward, and we go on to the second level with Catwoman. The second level we play as a Catwoman and Penguin. For the first time we actually get to play as Catwoman. She can double jump and riz people up to get through certain doors. Well, we use these abilities to get along the rooftops and break into a museum, where we get a gem. Catwoman then gets taught, like the main story, thanks to Batman. The Penguin then gets Killer Croc, and we go through the next few levels, which are quite uneventful to be fair. The first is surprisingly actually a vehicle level. We haven't seen one of those in a while. But we're just boats travelling to the sewers. And the crocodile's boat can surprisingly go through acid. And then the penguins can go underwater, because it's a submarine, and submarines go underwater. And then we break into the sewers, and we then break into the jail to break Catwoman out. And then Crocodile gets put back into the jail. This is confusing. And then we go on to the last level of the Penguin side. The last level, we are setting up the control ray for the Penguin, and it's powered by penguins. This level is way better than the one on the hero's side, but every single player who I've seen play this game complains about this mini kit. What you're meant to do is you're meant to go through 5 wings on a slide. The slide's controls aren't the greatest, but if you miss one, you have to replay the entire level again to get an opportunity to get a single mini kit. Then if you miss it, you have to replay it again. I get 4 of them, but the last one, the character phases through the ring. I could have got it, but no, phase through the ring. Well, I have to do this one on free play, but we get through the level and then wait for Batman. We then finally get to the last chapter of the game. The last chapter! And again, as chapter 3 was with the hero side, it's the Joker with his amazing plan to just cause chaos. We start at the Fun Land this time, and we play as the Joker and Harley Quinn. The Joker can walk through acid and use a joy buzzer. He can use this to jumpstart power systems and electrocute people. And then we also have Harley Quinn, who can double jump, and that's pretty much it. We get through this level, fight the Commissioner, and then lock him up in a cart. After this, we have a vehicle mission with the Scarecrow's biplane and the Joker's helicopter. Nothing much happens here, it just looks exactly the same as the one on the hero side, but we crash land into a museum and crash this guy's wedding proposal as well. He somehow survives, but I don't think his relationship survived. We crash land into the museum and we blow everything up, and I begin to wonder why there are acid clouds as a defense system, and why there are people other than guards in the place. We play as the Scarecrow and the Joker again. The Scarecrow can open doors, but that's really it. But a fun fact is that these figures are based off their 2006 to 2008 figure design, and in that the Scarecrow had a glow-in-the-dark head. In the game though, the head doesn't glow in the dark, but you can slightly see the connection point of the head and the neck torso through the head on his design. Well, we go on to the next level where we can play as Killer Moth and the Joker. Killer Moth can glide and use a gun. That's pretty much it. We go through this level till we get to the cathedral, but we manage to make a mech. But it looks like the most silly thing ever. It squeaks when it walks, and I love it. We use it to blow up cars, but that's pretty much it apart from the rest of this uneventful level when we get to the cathedral. We're finally there. We're on the last story level. The last one. We break into the cathedral as Harley Quinn and Joker, and we go up towards the clock tower. We break in and set up the conductors that allow Joker to do his chaotic plans. And once we set them up, the level ends. This marks the last story level of the entire game. But, as you may have noticed, we're only 57% done with the game. The whole story is done, but we're only halfway. But this is a 100% video. I have said I will do 100%, so I will die on that hill and I will do it. So we'll now go through the free play segment of the game. I begin free play with the villain side of the story. This is because it has useful extras like the stud multipliers and the collectible locators. I buy the ×2 stud multiplier and carry on. One of the bits of free play that's actually very useful is you get full access to Robin and Batman suits. All of them just in your free play roster. Which means you can just do a bunch of them. A bunch of puzzles really easily and just cheese them. We go to the Riddler's levels and then most of the Penguins. And then we buy the mini kit detector and the red brick detector. This marks and shows me what I have to do for the red bricks and the mini kits in the game. Saving me from having to search every inch of these levels. We then go on to the last level of the Penguin's third story. I am prepared to have to restart this level for this slide mini kit, but somehow I managed to get it on my first free play attempt. This is my second attempt overall, and thank God, because I don't want to restart this level, and I hate it. Once we do that, we go into the first few levels of the Joker's side. Once we get through the last level on the Joker's side, see we've skipped more because they're the same thing. We go on up to the clock tower, to the top of it, and we go up there and get 2 mini kits to finish the set of collectibles on the villain side of the story. The massive 150 mini kits that we have collected made little builds in the villain trophy room in Arkham Asylum, and because we've finished all of them, we now go on to the set of hero mini kits. Ah, the hero levels. We haven't seen these for a while, have we? These are actually not bad levels, to be fair. But the first level was Twit to be, and we managed to get our final true hero status in the second one. That's all 30 of them, and we also buy all of the extras we gained from the villain side of the game. And then that's all 30 useful extras. So that means we also have all stud multipliers, and if you have played a LEGO game, you know that these stack, meaning that our combination of ×2, ×4, ×6, ×8, and ×10 combined to make a whopping 3,480 times. Meaning studs aren't a problem, and as you'll see, I won't even stop on buying things now. I'll just buy them and then I'm done, because we got the max 4 billion studs like the next level after. We finished the first chapter with no problem, and we go to the second chapter. Again, no problem. We then go on to the final part of the game. We beat the first level of the Joker's side, and we get a final Citizen in Peril. We then go through the rest of the game and get to the final level. We go up, getting our final red brick and our final mini kit. Hooray! All collectibles, all mini kits, red bricks and Citizens in Peril. But we only have 98.8% completion. This is because we need to do the bonus levels. But before this, we buy the last red bricks for all the suits, making those maxed out, and we buy Hush. He's the character that you can only get once you have all the citizens. We also get all the data, but we have one remaining. Data has no purpose in this game, it only is there to give us lore really, and bump up that 100% requirement. But again, we have one remaining. We then go on to the first bonus level in Arkham Asylum. We need to get 1 million studs without multipliers. This is fine, nothing much really happens, we just need to go through this maze bit mainly. But then once we do that, we finish Arkham Asylum and we don't need to go into this bit of the game ever again. We then go into the last bonus level, and the last level in general. This one's in Wayne Manor, and we again have to get 1 million studs by getting 100 purple studs this time. This formula's never been seen really again in the LEGO games, and thank God, because I don't really like it. I think it's a bit tedious. But we do it by destroying flowers, then going through the side stroller Mario kind of thing. But the main bit I hate is, yes, the stud bit, but also you have to drag bombs to these things. I don't like this. I just give up and push the bombs. But we get that final pop-up of all studs collected, and that's it. We have finished. We go and buy the last bit of data, which says, the end. With that, you have just watched my 15-hour playthrough in about a 1 hour long video. You may wonder, has my opinion on this game changed? Where is it? I still love this game even after 100%ing it twice. It still ranks 5th on my tier list of favourite games. There are these annoying bits, you know, like the penguin story, I don't like that, but I still love the game, and if you ever get a chance to play it, I fully recommend it, and I fully recommend going through the 100%. And you can really easily buy the Xbox 360 copy of it for cheap. It's bundled in with a racing game as well, but you can buy that for cheap, and you also get to play it on your Series S and X. It's one of the only games that's backwards compatible for the 360 for this thing. But, yeah, I fully recommend it. Well, what's next? I still want to continue the Batman series, but not another long video like this again. This has taken me about 2 weeks to make, but I don't care, I love it. The original LEGO videos that I used to make are still going to be uploaded every now and again whenever I feel the need or want to. But you may get a different game series next, and I won't say lots, but it may take 5 nights to survive it, if you get what I mean.